Well, after nearly 3 weeks, the war between the Iranian regime and millions of Iranians stands at a very pivotal moment. Reports are coming out of Iran say that the regime has committed the largest scale massacre of its people since 1979. And there's also word that maybe some U.S. action may be imminent. Chris Mitchell has the very latest from Jerusalem. Chris.
The videos coming out of Iran are horrific. Some of them we can't even show right now. And the numbers are staggering. Up to maybe 30,000 people have been murdered, 12,000 just in the city of Isfahan as well. Even though the government says they have stopped scheduled 800 hangings of people, we hear right now that Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps members are actually going into the hospitals and executing people that are waiting for treatment with a shot to the head. The regime has also enlisted Iraqi and Afghan militias to shoot the protesters. Some reports are saying that, Rita, they're using the drug Catagon, which increases violent behavior and it helps people to kill without a conscience. And today, Ayatollah Khamenei, he says President Trump is inciting the disorder in Iran with help from British and Israeli intelligence. He says they've succeeded in extinguishing the fire of the civil war in Iran, and the people have spoken the final word. But on Friday, exiled Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, he stated in Washington that the Islamic regime is close to collapse. He said Khamenei and his thugs know this. That's why they're lashing out like a wounded animal, desperate to cling to powder. He adds that large sections of the army and security forces have refused to participate in the killings of civilians. He says tens of thousands have signaled their readiness to defect. Now, that, Rita, could be a tipping point in the war against the regime. And all in the meantime, as you said, the USS Abraham Lincoln Strike Task Force is streaming to the Middle East right now. This gives President Trump a host of military options to try to see what he can do to help stop the killing, perhaps bring down the regime. So he faces a historic decision, Rita, that really is going to determine the future, the fate of Iran, the Middle East, and perhaps even the world. Back to you.
Wow, all eyes are on that, and something may be happening soon. There's some reports, and we know the Abraham Lincoln is there in theater. Thank you very much, Chris. Please keep us posted very much. Really horrific to hear what's going on there. And joining us now is Walid Fairs, former Trump foreign policy advisor, and he's also the author of Iran, an Imperialist Republic and U.S. Policy. Alongside also Amir Fakhravar, he is the Senate chairman in the National Iranian Congress, and he's also the author of Comrade Ayatollah. Walid, let's start with you. What do you think is going to happen? There are some reports that something imminent may happen from the United States. What should this administration do, Walid?
Well, first of all, definitely there is something happening on the ground in Tehran, the other cities, on behalf of the Islamic regime in Iran. They're going house to house, city to city, neighborhood to neighborhood. We've seen armor on the streets. This is a occupation. That's the Khomeinist occupation of their own cities. When that happens, you're going to trigger resistance. First, there were the demonstrations, very organized, very stubborn, much better than any waves before. But the response to this administration was genocidal. I mean, 12,000 people killed in few days. Now you're talking about new numbers that could take it all the way up to 25,000. My advice to the president is, number one, to be determined in continuing the policy that he stated in his several tweets, excellent in that direction. I would strongly recommend that he would address a speech directly to the Iranian people from the Oval Office. That would multiply the energies on the ground. And second, obviously, as you just mentioned, there is an action. That action, the president knows how to take it, when to take it, and he needs to message all those countries around that are pressuring him, do not strike against the regime. Tell them, we know better the interest of the United States. We know better that we need to stop the genocide inside Iran.
You know, Amir, you just heard from Walid about maybe a national address. Do you believe that needs to happen or should happen? Also, President Trump has been very vocal. He said, you know, help is on the way to the Iranian people. He's bringing in the Abraham Lincoln Carrier Group, which is getting there in theater. Amir, what a far cry and what a different response and a much more forceful, powerful way for those freedom-loving people than I think about when Obama. Look what happened when the Green Revolution was happening under Obama, and he just let it happen. The protesters got slaughtered there and no response. What do you think will happen now, Amir?
Thank you for having me. And let me say thank you to my good friend, Walid Fares. He's 100% correct. And regarding let's start with the Chris's report, which was amazing about the protest, everything happened. But one part, I want to just make a correction that Reza Pahlavi claimed that some IRGC members, they refused the order to kill the people. That's 100% false. Because the mindset of IRGC, they are a bunch of terrorists together. Never they are coming to the side of the people. It's just some fantasy with the monarchist part of our opposition. They think, yeah, that at some point maybe IRGC can come and help the people. It's not going to happen. The only way is President Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu should go full force to destroy regime's institution. It's that we know exactly where Supreme Leader lives. Iranian Supreme Leader and entire mullahs, it's a 200 mullahs and their families. They are living in an area in the heart of Tehran. It's called Pastor area. It's near the Pastor Street in Tehran. It's easily via Google Earth. Everybody, all the viewers can go and search Pastor area. They will see some palaces. It was the palaces of the Iranian former king, which the mullahs, they surprisingly, they moved to these palaces. They are living there. Supreme Leader lives in the Marmar Palace, the main palace of Iranian former king, and the entire Assembly of Islamic Experts, their National Security Council, everything is there in that area. Iranian civilians, they are not living there. This is the best target for Americans, for beautiful B-2 bombers that President Trump loves those birds. They can go and target Supreme Leader's nest, the devil's nest, and then they can go and destroy Khomeini's shrine in south of Tehran. They can go and destroy Iranian state TV, because the state TV showed this time, everybody have seen it. They showed that this time we will not miss the bullet. And they put President Trump's picture, the assassination attempt from last year. You know, all these shows, these institutions of terror should be destroyed by President Trump as soon as possible. The death toll exceeded to 30,000 up to now, and we have the report. It will go up to 50,000, and maybe 80,000 people have been killed during the blackout during last 10 days, and it will continue. Today, the Supreme Leader said, yes, some terrorists came inside the country and killed thousands of the people. Oh yeah, everybody believes him around the world. And also, the head of judiciary branch in Iran said, we are going to execute those 800 people that President Trump said we are not going to execute them. Mr. President, President Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu, 100 million Iranians, 90 million inside the country, 10 million outside of the country in exile. We hope, we are looking at you, we love you, you are the best ally of Iranian people. We are your troops inside the country. Please destroy the regime's institution. The people then can go and destroy the regime. The last point, which is the message of President Trump just before.
Yes, very quickly, Amir.
He said, it's the time to look for new leadership in Iran. President Trump said that. I loved that one.
Let me go back to Walid very quickly, because a very passionate plea, Amir, too, and it is a dire circumstance. There is no doubt about it. Walid, do you believe exactly what Amir just ended on about leadership? What is sort of being prepared? First of all, obviously, you got to get rid of this regime. But what do you see as sort of the next phase, and how important is that, do you think, also in the administration, the U.S. administration's planning? Because there was a report out there that President Trump did not want to take sort of military action unless it could be decisive towards the regime, Walid.
I think he can, he should, he's preparing, he's coalescing with Israel and other factors and countries in the region as well. I think there will be action that would target mostly the two militias, the Basij, who are the, I call them the lower SS, control the streets, doing the firing, the IRGC. But there is a resilience among Iranians. I mean, people say, oh, they've left the streets. No, no, no. They buried their dead, thousands and thousands of dead. And then they're going to go back to urban resistance. These convoys of whatever IRGC is putting into Tehran, the other cities, they're not going to find peace. They're going to find resistance. And same is happening in the ethnic areas around Iran. What is needed right now is President Trump, Prime Minister Netanyahu, other leaders I'm not going to be naming right now, to make sure that they do two things. Number one, that would help later on in the formation of an interim government, not now when the regime would fall. And number two, launch the idea that there will be an international court, special international court that will prosecute all these war crimes like Nuremberg, for example.
And there will be a lot of people to prosecute, it sounds like, for sure. Well, let's pray that good news is going to happen very, very soon. Those people deserve it there, those freedom-loving people there that are fighting courageously, unbelievably there in Iran. We're praying for them. Thank you guys very, very much. And everybody, up next.